There's a vast contingent of people out there who prefer to play their games on PC, and there's a long list of reasons for that. Of course, it helps that the flow of excellent releases on the platform just never ever stops. 2022 was no different in that regard. From long-awaited new releases to PC ports of beloved older titles, the platform saw a steady stream of great new games over the course of the last 12 months. Here, we're going to recognize what we felt were the very best, before crowning one of them as our favorite of the lot. Note, the nominees and winners were decided by an internal vote held among the entire Gaming Bolt staff. Nominees: Overwatch 2. The slow death of the original Overwatch, the degrading reputation of Blizzard Entertainment, and the prolonged development of Overwatch 2 had combined in the exact opposite of a perfect storm in the lead-up to the long-awaited sequel's launch. But in the end, Overwatch 2 managed to clear most of those hurdles. Blizzard's newest hero shooter has launched with some issues, and for obvious reasons, it hasn't had the same kind of impact its predecessor did. But there's still a great deal to love here. The core gameplay remains excellent, several smart improvements have refined it further, and with Blizzard's full attention on the game once again, it has an active and thriving player base. The Legend of Heroes: Trails from Zero. Western fans of Nihon Falcom's The Legend of Heroes series are finally getting to play official localizations of older installments in the series. This year saw the launch of Trails from Zero, 12 years on from its original launch in Japan for the PSP. And while there are some rough edges here, for fans of the series, the game is unequivocally unmissable. Combining an excellent story, a wonderfully written cast of characters, addictive combat, and a staggering amount of engaging things to do, Trails from Zero delivers a meaty, unforgettable experience. It takes a little while to get going, but with several quality of life improvements, like high speed mode, it's easier to get into the game than ever before, even for series newcomers. Sifu. Sifu has seen plenty of success on both critical and commercial fronts, but one could easily argue that it's still perhaps a little underrated, because that's how good Slow Clap's Kung Fu Brawler is. If you're the kind of person who wants their games to be challenging, demanding, but incredibly satisfying, you can't go wrong with Sifu. It boasts incredible combat, which feels even better to engage in than it does to look at, and that's saying a lot, because it's a joy to look at, thanks not only to the game's excellent animations, but also its gorgeous art design. Since launch, Sifu has added excellent new gameplay features, from gameplay modifiers to difficulty levels and much more, which makes it that much more of an irresistible prospect. Football Manager 2023. Football Managers 2023 is the sort of game that most people think of when they call something niche. But ask its massive and dedicated and hopelessly addictive community, and they'll tell you that it's one of the very few annual franchises that keeps getting better year after year. This year's game represents perhaps the smallest upgrade Sports Interactive Sim series has made over the previous year's entry in quite some time. But even so, this is the best Football Manager has ever been, which isn't small praise by any means. Yes, it's a pretty granular upgrade, but when the core experience is this good, even a small improvement can be quite enough. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Sony has accelerated its plans to bring PlayStation titles to PC. It brought a great many of those in 2022, and without a doubt, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales is one of the very best games in that group. It's shorter, relatively more truncated experience as compared to the original, yes, but in many ways, that's its biggest strength. It also feels denser, more packed, its side activities more meaningful. Meanwhile, thanks to Miles' bioelectricity powers and invincibility, combat, stealth, and traversal are also elevated. Not that they weren't great to begin with. While of course the game also tells an excellent story, the developer has also done an incredible job optimizing the game for PC and providing a host of options, which is also worth special praise. Stray. Stray could have easily used its unique premise as a crutch to deliver a bland gameplay experience. But this is a game that not only pulls you in with its unique premise, but also gets you to stay until the end because it's genuinely just enjoyable to play. Its post-apocalyptic cyberpunk world is fascinating to traverse, and made even better by all of the incredible and charming visual flourishes it tucks in around every corner. Gameplay is simple and straightforward, but it keeps delivering enjoyable, well-made puzzles and challenges at a regular pace. And, of course, you play as a cat. So what's not to like? Elden Ring. Of course, Elden Ring is nominated for Best PC Game. We can save you the trouble. It'll be nominated for most things, and deservedly so. From Software's excellent open-world transition of the celebrated Souls formula hit the gaming world with the force of 1,000 suns. And with good reason. Incredible open-world design, more ways to tackle the game's bevy of challenges, and rewards and content upon rewards and content. All on top of pitch-perfect combat. Yeah, obviously it's nominated. Admittedly, the PC version had a fair few issues at launch, and it still has a lot of them, but that, more than anything, should tell you just how good the game really is. That even with a suboptimal port, it manages to stand shoulder to shoulder with the other great games the platform got this year. Monster Hunter Rise. When Monster Hunter Rise came out last year for the Nintendo Switch, it was a great game. When it came to PC this year, it was, of course, still a great game, but even better, because it launched after a bunch of content and feature updates, and because PC as a platform is so well suited to that kind of game that Monster Hunter usually is. Bringing together the kinetic mobility and finely tuned combat that made Rise such a great addition to the series canon, and then adding some excellent icing on top of the delicious cake with the Sunbreak expansion. Monster Hunter Rise on PC represents the definitive way to play one of the best games in a very high-quality series. And sure enough, we were glad to see the PC community embrace it every bit as much as their Switch counterparts did last year. God of War. God of War has become the undisputed flag bearer for PlayStation Studios over the last few years, so of course PC players were itching to get their hands on the game on their platform of choice. That God of War 2018 is an excellent game on PC is no surprise to anyone, but special praise also has to go to how good of a port it is. Developed in conjunction with Valkyrie Entertainment, call their name a happy coincidence, this is an excellent PC port, with incredible visuals and performance, a wide range of options, a significantly expanded array of accessibility features, and much more. Winner: Elden Ring. Most developers find it hard to deliver even one game that will be remembered as an all-time great. But From Software has done it time and time and time again over the course of more than a decade. And even with that mighty pedigree, in 2022 the studio managed to deliver what may very well be its greatest game to date, though us Bloodborne fans might beg to differ. The classic Souls formula has a timeless quality, especially when it's From Software that's handling it. But Elden Ring elevates it to completely new heights, thanks in large part to a staggeringly massive open world that, despite its size, never seems to dilute the quality of the content on offer, and keeps finding new ways to surprise players. In the end, it was hard to look past From Software's latest masterpiece for this particular category's winner. Hey, did you know that we at Gaming Vault upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.